All right, I am leaving beautiful Steamboat Lake campground. Stayed surprisingly dry through the night. Well, it was very humid, was the only issue. So humid and cold, so you were sweating and freezing all at the same time, but at least it wasn't hailing more or anything like that. So from here, I'm going to jump directly onto the BDR and head to our steamboat. It's just a short 44 miles from here. Weather looking pretty good, the prediction, but again, Colorado, you never know. Little micro thunderstorms everywhere. Plan for today is finish section 6, so to Steamboat, and from there hop on to section 5, and then most likely finish section 5 in somewhere around Gypsum. I'll show you what the camping situation down there looks like. Might find a nice dispersed camping spot. If not, we'll just go to a hotel, do laundry, take a shower. So we'll figure it out. Camping ground was very full. Not a single free space open, but it's 4th of July weekend, to be expected. Even had fireworks over Steamboat Lake. This Garmin is starting to become a major pain in the ass. It keeps crashing on me. It's never done this before. It might be just a recent update, but it just keeps not loading maps and then crash. It's like all it does. But again, that's why I use 2 devices, but usually it's the tablet I have issues with. It really is a beautiful area here in the spring. All these wildflowers everywhere. I was woken up by a young buck and a doe just going near the tent trying to eat some plants. Very idyllic. A lot of water in this lake. Should make for an interesting water crossing today. Today is that big deep one. A beautiful area here. Might be a good drone opportunity. I know it was a short drone section, but so many power lines here. That's just something better do in the open road, like without power lines on the trail. I'm sure we'll get to some pieces, but getting into Clark. Stopped by here yesterday, going to the only store in the area, hoping I could find some like onions, peppers, some meat or something to cook up, but nobody had anything, so was reduced to eating dehydrated food. Wow, what an incredible view. Colorado really is a beautiful state. I'm glad to call home. And it's a really, really nice day. Fun roads. Last few miles before Steamboat. Really, really cool section of the BDR. Not difficult, but nice, flowy, fast dirt roads. Beautiful scenery. And we made it to Steamboat. Might be the biggest city we drive through on the entire BDR. We're gonna get some gas, water. Alright, I am leaving the Steamboat gas station, get some water, some gas. Programmed in the next part of the route. So now we're gonna start section 5. 124 miles to Gypsum from here. A wonderful sign, end of paved road, impassable when wet. And the first thing I see is a donkey and a puddle. He's a really cute little donkey. I'll try not to scare him and drive slowly past him. Well, this looks like pretty recent rain, right from last night. What a nice little trail. The river right next to it. A little overgrown. Beautiful. Going this way, I believe. Yes. A Cybertruck, oh my god. Such a really beautiful area. Quintessential Colorado. It's kind of funny being, if I'm like living in Colorado and never having ridden the Colorado BDR. I've ridden parts of it. I've done like pretty much all of the Alpine Loop and stuff, but figured it's time. Cross it off the list. Oh, nice. Look at that. That was a nice little ride along the lake. And pavement ends. Beautiful. Got about 90 miles left to Gypsum, and it's only 11:30. So unless the trail starts turning really crazy difficult, time-wise, we are golden. especially early July. Sun doesn't set till 8, so kind of got all the time in the world to figure out what we want to do. We're inching our way closer to the water crossing. We're just gonna straight cross this road. Shuttle, guys. May be impassable when wet. While the water crossing definitely is wet. Actually, this is the water crossing right here. Let's see how deep it is. No, it's nothing. Well, that was fun, but a little overhyped. I feel like every single water crossing on any BDR that I've done. So Arizona had a big water crossing, which was nothing. Wyoming BDR, that place was hyped. That deep water crossing in section 2 was nothing really in the end. It was worse than this one, but still nothing. And now this one. But there's supposedly one more that can be a little sketch, but we'll see. But that's not until tomorrow or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Oh wow, that view. I'll have to stop up there and take a photo. Bike's too tall, or my legs are too short. Such a beautiful stretch of the trail here. Nice, windy, easy roads though. Thinking when I have to start doing a BDR the hard way or some other form of it. I love the spirit of the BDRs, but oftentimes the routes are just very big bike focused, so that anybody can do it. And it's just something about like having some like Jeep trails in there and just some rough stuff. Well, that was some sketchy drone recordings through some tree cover and all kinds of stuff. Flies are crazy here too. So let's keep going. Well, I could have probably drone somewhere out here, but between those trees it's just really tough, and it's just not worth it, honestly, losing the drone over it. So it's a little too close to discomfort for me, but should get some cool footage though. This is some nice rocky steep trails. It's good fun. Just hope nobody comes across around the corners full speed, not expecting a biker. No, it's like a fun little trail up there too. Wow, the views are incredible up here. But it's a long way down we gotta go. Looks like a ton of little switchbacks. But it is very, very toasty. It feels and smells kind of like Utah riding. It's hard to describe unless you've been out there, but definitely has a Utah feel to it. Just the way the heat feels, the scents in the air. I mean, would make sense, I guess, but what a view. Got about 60 miles to Gypsum from here. It is 1 o'clock. These temperatures, 91 degrees. And we're still high up, we're going down to the river. Does not sound like a pleasant idea to go camping in. Hot, dusty, crowded. Can't wait for the high alpine area where it's gonna be nice and cool. Bald eagle up there. There's the eagle again. Just pacing us. Doesn't get more American than that on 4th of July weekend. Would be nice to find like a shady ice cream stand. Is that too much to ask for? I'm not too familiar with this area of Colorado, honestly. I haven't really been out here. Well, this is new for me too. It's an area I typically just drive through on 70. Alright, turning off the road again onto dirt. Prospect that would be more exciting if it wasn't so freaking hot. It really feels like I'm in the Utah desert here. I'll take a break here, get some snacks. Alright, leaving this tiny little campground area. Had some electrolytes, quick snack. Got my buff nice and cold, so that should help. Can already feel the evaporation effect kicking in. So good to go for a little while longer. 33 miles to Gypsum. We should easily be able to knock that out. There's one hard alt coming still, and of course I'm not gonna skip it. So yeah, excited to see what the rest of the trail looks like. This is such a cool road. I think this is the Colorado River Road. The views are unbelievable. Wow. Alright, so we're coming up on the turn off for the hard alternative into Gypsum. First hard alt on the Colorado BDR. Already looks like some cool riding. Honestly though, this might be great for drones. Well, this hard alt has been really fun. It's not hard per se, but it's beautiful. Got some great drone shots. Seems like the bike temperature is kind of jumping all over the place. But it is pretty hot, and it is pretty slippery surface. Kind of like loose talcum powder, gypsum, I guess. So it probably just made the bike overheat because it's been a little steep at times too. Those shouldn't overheat. Let's see. It is 95 degrees outside though. That plus desert riding plus steep plus sand and a ton of luggage. Yeah, I can see it getting a little warm. It is so freaking hot though. It's in the 90s. And I am completely drenched in sweat. So I'm just gonna try to see if I can find a hotel in Eagle rather than trying to camp, because it's gonna be miserable out here in the desert. This is all very, very sandy. I wouldn't necessarily consider this a hard alt. This is on par with regular routes of the BDR. If it is wet, it is an extreme enduro trail. But it's so beautiful, especially the beginning of it. If you're coming from the north, I mean, you don't want to miss out on this. It's a little rocky, but I mean, it's called adventure riding for a reason. Just give it a shot. You might enjoy it. Oh, the wind feels like a freaking hair blower. It's like Arizona all over again, but this is supposed to be Colorado, high altitude, early July. 96 degrees, what the hell? Ooh, very sandy. Ugh. Ooh. Looks like that's going to be the road leading us into Gypsum. Yeah, that's a good view too. Oh wow, look at that trail going all the way up to the ridge. That'll be fun. Gypsum in the distance. Been through Gypsum many times, but I've never knew these trails here existed. I always wondered what it was like. Now I have a better idea, and it's wonderful riding. I mean, that looks like a lot of fun too, that climb there. That's a sporty climb. Alright, so I want to go down to the gas station here, get some gas, and then look for some lodging around here. Probably have to drive a few miles on 70, which on this bike is not fun at all. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's better than camping in 96-degree storm weather. Alright, so leaving Gypsum, found a hotel in Eagle. This is just a short, an 8-minute drive on 70. Well, I made it to Eagle. Survived I-70. Oh, luckily there's not too many people there today. And I was able to just ride behind the RV. Wind protection and going at a slower speed. Alright, I want to check into this semi-shady looking hotel and we'll debrief later. Alright, so day 2 of the Colorado BDR, I guess, after yesterday's BDRX in Wyoming and then making it to Steamboat Lake. Camping there was a little adventurous with a hailstorm rolling in, barely getting cover. Night I slept alright, but it was very humid and cold, so I was hot and cold all at the same time through the night. It was kind of annoying how humid it was from all the rain, but I got up in the early morning. Then by shortly after 8 o'clock or so, got on the road, made it down to Steamboat. The roads from Steamboat Lake to Steamboat were actually really pretty, so a lot of wide open ranch land, very scenic, very peaceful. Went to Steamboat, got some gas, filled up on water, and then just jumped right back on the trail. Outside of Steamboat, like when the trail to off-road section actually began, leading up to Stagecoach Reservoir, that was a really fun section. A few little mud puddles here and there, saw a funny donkey, and it was good riding overall. And so made it past Stagecoach Reservoir. So from Stagecoach Reservoir then, it was just really wide open dirt roads, very fast riding. Took nice little scenic pass through like some small little tighter forest tracks. Decided to fly a drone, probably at the worst place, and it helped follow me through the trees for a bunch of time, but I got a few nice scenic shots before I had to land just because it just became too risky. Really nice, beautiful, windy roads with great views in the distance. Eventually made it to that notorious deep water crossing, which I'm sure it can get deeper than what it was today, but all the conditions were right. It rained for a few days. It's early July, so snow melt still plays a factor, but it wasn't that deep. I kind of had to have it up in my mind a little bit more than it was, so just went straight through it. Yeah, no problem at all. After that, going towards Gypsum, the terrain changed, everything changed. It became way more Utah desert kind of riding, a lot of redstone. It became really hot. Initially, just dropped into the mid 80s, and then went through some really beautiful windy switchbacks down towards the Colorado River, and down there mid 90s. From there, it was these really wide open gravel roads along the Colorado River. Those were kind of tedious. I'm sure when it's a little cooler and not so much traffic, it's fine, but I had a ton of traffic, so it was just dusty, annoying, really hot riding. Though eventually, once we left the Colorado River and then went back into the hills through the hard alternative, which was Trail Gulch, I believe the name. Right away, you're in the middle of a canyon. The most beautiful part of the entire day. It was really, really fun riding through that dry gypsum, talcum powder stuff. As long as it's dry, it's fine. It's kind of like a fine sand. Wasn't too deep, but the bike definitely jumped a little bit all over the place because I had to keep my eye on the drone. But I wouldn't necessarily call it like a hard alternative, but it was like a fun little challenging trail. And then dropping into Gypsum, but it was so hot the entire time, and I was going a little bit slower filming anyways, that I just was completely drenched. And instead of camping in that infernal heat, with a lot of wind too, I just decided to drive down to Eagle from Gypsum, which is just a quick 6-7 mile ride, and staying in a hotel here. I have to figure out the issue with my Garmin, with a few other electronics, getting everything charged up, doing some laundry, taking a shower that was very well needed. So then tomorrow we're ready for Section 4, which takes us over Hagerman, through Leadville, and then into Buena Vista, which I'm really looking forward to. Hagerman supposedly has these really tall snowballs, so hopefully they're still there when I get there. I think it'd be really cool to film. Yeah, looking forward to it.